Again, I'd like to say thanks to our students, parents, and coaches for everything they do to make athletics possible here at Du Bois Area High School. At this time, I'm proud to introduce the Du Bois Area High School Director of Athletics, Mr. Chuck Farah.
Thank you, Mr. Weibel. Good evening. I'd also like to welcome everyone here to our annual awards program. As Mr. Weibel said, this marks our 75th annual awards night here at Du Bois Area High School. Tonight we're here to honor our student athletes and our coaches who've excelled in their respective sport, and those individuals who've supported our athletic programs throughout the year. Just a little history on our athletic program. Here at the Du Bois Area School District, we offer 24 varsity level sports. At the middle school, we offer 14. During the current school year, there were more than 600 individual student athletes participating in grades 7 through 12. Many of these athletes participate in 2 and 3 sports. There were more than 700 scheduled events during this school year, and I think we nearly got all of them except this spring, as you know. To supervise these teams, we hire approximately 74 individuals to coach, and we have another 60 or so that volunteer their time to help out with our student athletes each year. Success in athletics is evaluated in many ways. Teams, athletes set goals each season. Many reach their goals. Some fall short while others exceed expectations. Sportsmanship, teamwork, discipline, leadership skills, camaraderie, responsibility, commitment, time management, and perseverance are all life lessons that learn through participation in athletic programs. All these are examples of part of our school's athletic programs. We make it a point to each of our athletes and coaches convey that, and they are representing the Du Bois Area School District no matter where they are. They've all done a very good job this year, and we'd like to congratulate all involved in another outstanding year. Of our 24 varsity level sports that participate in regular season contests, 18 had winning records this year, and 22 of those teams will participate or have participated in the postseason. This fall, the school year began with another successful season. Our girls volleyball team won their 5th straight District 9 title. Boys cross country, they won their 2nd straight District 9 championship. Both boys and girls golf captured District 9 titles as well. Football hosted its first home playoff game in more than 20 years. We also had many athletes earn all district and all league recognitions. Again, through the winter, we sent representatives in nearly every varsity sport to postseason play. The highlights this winter would be boys basketball and rifle teams. The boys basketball team won the District 8, 9, 10 sub-regional championship. Our rifle team finished 3rd in both the state small bore and air rifle state championship rifle competitions. Along the way, Gabrielle Sprague, she captured 5th place overall in the state small bore competition. The boys swim team sent Joe Fenstermarker, Jake Yards, AC Deamer, and Colton Mazdal to the states, as well as Abby Dressler and Sydney Beers on the girls' side. Our gymnastics team posted its highest team score in 6 years, and they qualified for states for the 3rd consecutive year. We also had 2 place winners, Maya Jones and Lauren Stroker. Our competition cheer squad also qualified for states and placed 13th in the co-ed division. This spring has been fairly successful as well. For most of our programs, we'll be qualifying or have already qualified for postseason play. On Friday, our track and field team will compete at District 9 championships in Brooksville, where they are poised to bring home another team titles. Our boys tennis team had a doubles team of Cody Jakonski and Zach Johnson placed 2nd at the District 9-10 AAA Championship Series once again. And our baseball and softball teams will both begin postseason play next week. So at this time, we will begin the presentation of our Student Athlete MVP Awards. We have asked our coaches to comment on their outstanding student athletes, present them with a plaque. We will begin this year with the females. Up first, with girls basketball and head coach Rodney Thompson.
All right, thank you, Chuck. Thank you, admin. Thank you, guys. First off, I just want to say that I really appreciate the opportunity to come back to Du Bois and coach some basketball. So it was an awesome thing last year to get that all planned out. And I appreciate everybody who had an effort in that. So my job tonight is to again present our girls basketball most valuable player. And our MVP this year is Madison Rusnica. Rusty led our team in the following categories. Defensively, she had 63 deflections, 70 steals, 11 block shots. She was our 2nd leading rebounder. Offensively, she was our 2-point shooting percentage leader, leading scorer with 157 points, and she also was distributed the ball well. She led the team with 42 assists. Rusty was also selected by the D9 coaches to be a member of the D9 All-Star team this past season. So it's with my great pleasure to present Madison Rusnica as our 2021-2022 Du Bois Lady Beaver Basketball MVP. Thank you.
Next up, we'll go over to cheerleading, the sideline and competition spirit squads. Head coach Taylor Shaw is unavailable to be here tonight, so she has prepared something for me to read on her behalf. First, for the sideline cheer MVP, we had many outstanding seniors this year, but there was a lot more to an MVP than just a good cheerleader and or athlete. When choosing an MVP this season, we look at everything from academics, leadership, responsibility. It means so much more than just having the talent, which is also a large part of an MVP. This particular athlete has excelled for all 4 years, and I've been able to coach her. She may be quiet, but don't let that fool you. She's always at the top of her game. Her knowledge and leadership to the squad is outstanding, and she portrays everything you hope your athlete to be and much more. We know she will be very successful in her future journeys. We cannot wait to see where she lands. This year's MVP for sideline cheer is Emily Larson. Next up, we'll present our competition cheer MVP. That is winter sport for us here at Du Bois. Taylor wrote the following: choosing MVP for competitive cheerleading is very difficult since every single athlete on the mat plays such an important role. This individual athlete was not only one of 2 that participated all 4 years, but one that we've seen large growth. She came on the team as a freshman, already an incredible athlete, but was always ready for improvement. She was always looking for what she could do to help improve the team as a whole while helping others as well. She was one of the powerhouses, and her strength will be missed along with her outgoing personality. She pushed through it all and took more hits than most would not be able to handle, and she was always willing to keep going. She was part of two state qualifying teams, and she's an athlete that deserved the title. I'm proud to say that she will be continuing her cheer journey at Clare University. We can't wait to see what her future holds. This year's MVP for competition cheer is Callie Schrock. Next up is girls cross country and head coach Corey Yaris.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to say, first of all, congratulations to all the student athletes out here. When Mr. Fair was reading off all the accolades of Du Bois, we truly are blessed with not only the opportunity to host varsity sports, but the level of aptitude and attitude that we have in this district is just phenomenal. So I just want to thank the administration for the opportunity to coach such fine young athletes. This young lady, I'm presenting the 2021 Girls MVP Cross Country Award. This young lady's already sent shockwaves through the district, beginning back in middle school. I'll let some of the other coaches comment to some of her other athletic achievements tonight. So I'll just focus on cross country. This young lady started as a freshman. She's a sophomore this year, a 2-year letterman, or letter lady as it would be. She led the Lady Beavers to a 19-1 season record. She was the first place overall finisher for female in every regular competition meet this season. She also brought us a first place victory at the girls team championship at Ridgeway Invitational. She set her personal best of 19 minutes and 17 seconds on a very grueling Blue Devil Invitational 5K in September. Following that, she set the female course record here at Du Bois and still holds it with a time of 19 minutes and 30 seconds. She was the second place overall finisher at the AAA Sub-Regional Girls District 8, 9, 10 District Championships with a time of 20 minutes and 23 seconds. And she followed that up with a qualification to the PIAA State Championships in Hershey in November, where she placed 63rd out of 238 runners as only a sophomore. So she still has 2 more years to climb that ladder with an impressive time of 20 minutes and 20 seconds. I could go on and on about this young lady all night, but I'll just let her come up here and get her award. This year's MVP for cross country in the girls department is Morgan Romer.
Next up is girls golf and head coach Larry Salone.
So first of all, I can't run up the steps like Rodney did or anybody else. Us golf coaches don't walk around, we ride around in carts the whole season. Nobody got me a cart, so we have to go slow. But first of all, I just want to say something real quick, and I don't want to take words out of Coach Bennett's mouth, but playing as a team gets you places. And the basketball team was one of the best displays of team I ever saw. Do you agree, Coach? It was phenomenal to watch it. And I'm very proud of the girls' golf team, because this year we had 5 girls, and everyone contributed and helped. If somebody had a bad match, somebody else stepped up and was the medalist. It was phenomenal. And it was even amazing. We've been undefeated for 2 straight years in the Allegheny Mountain League. We didn't get to play last year for some crappy reason for the trophy. This year we got to play for the trophy. We won D9, and we got to give Chuck the trophy. And nothing makes Chucky happy than getting a big trophy to hang on the wall, trust me. See the smile? But it was amazing. I mean, Sarah Henninger was the medalist for the D9 championship round, and weren't expecting it. And it was, she covered when some other people did. So without any further ado, I'm so proud of these girls. Again, 2 years undefeated is phenomenal. But it's easy to name an MVP. The numbers don't lie. And our best golfer, I think it's 2 years in a row now, right? For Miss Alexis Pfeiffer. Please come up.
Next up, we have gymnastics. Head coach Nicole Fennell was unable to be here, so I'll be presenting on her behalf, and she prepared something for me to read. First off, we'd like to thank the administration, principals, and athletic director for their support this season. This year was the first season of the high school level for our recipient. She brought lots of gymnastics experience to the team, and she competed at the club level when she was younger. Well, but high school gymnastics are scored different. High school has a lot of required tricks for each event. This gymnast worked relentless to practice and learn those required skills to add to her routines already, thus raising her score on each event. Her high scores this year were 9.33 in vault, 8.55 in bars, 8.7 in beam, 8.95 in floor, and a 34.8 in all-around. At district, she placed 3rd on vault, 4th on beam, and 5th in the all-around. She helped the team qualify for states at the bronze level, and she individually competed at states at the gold level in the all-around competition. At states, she received a silver medal in the vault competition. This year's Gymnastics MVP is Lauren Stroker. Next up, we're going to move to our rifle team and head coach Joanne Pence.
Good evening. I would also like to thank Chuck and Kim, especially for all they do for me, and of course the rifle team, and the board members and the administration for their support of the rifle team. And I'd also like to congratulate all the young men, women and men tonight for their achievements. So the Rifle MVP award goes to the athlete who has the highest overall average score for the year. This year's MVP, since we are a co-ed sport, this year's MVP is a young lady. I've known this young lady since she was in, I believe, the 8th grade. Her older sister was on our rifle team, so she spent several years just sitting at the range watching her sister. When she started shooting, she was a natural, and her scores showed her potential. She practiced with our club team and could not wait until she got to 9th grade so she could join the high school team. Her freshman year, she finished in the top 5, which earns her a spot on the state team. Last year as a freshman, she finished in 2nd place overall on the team. She has competed at the state level, at NRA junior sectionals, and state championship matches. And she has competed at the National Air Rifle Championships in Camp Perry, Ohio. She's a sophomore. She's a 2-year letterman. She was also the co-captain of our team this year. In the classroom, she's a National Honor Society member, and she is a member of our state team now for her 2nd year. Her stats for this year: she finished in 1st place on the team with an average of a 277.2 out of a 300. She took the gold medal at the NRA Junior Air Rifle Sectional with a score of 388. She took the bronze medal at the NRA Junior 3-piece Small Bore Sectional with a 565. She helped lead our team to a 3rd place finish at the state championship match in both small bore and air rifle. And in the individual portion of that match, she finished in 5th place in the small bore match. She is one of 15 individuals in the United States that qualified this year to compete at the American Legion National 3-position air rifle match that will be held at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, Colorado in July. She qualified to compete at the National Junior Olympic Championship in both small bore and air rifle in Hillsdale, Michigan, which she just returned home yesterday from that match, where she performed very well representing her club and the high school. And I think probably her favorite accomplishment and her huge accomplishment for this year was she set a new DuBois Area High School record in the small bore competition with a 290 with 14 exits. She broke that school record by 5 exits. And probably the biggest thing about that was that record had been previously held, I'm not sure the year, by her sister Rachel. So she broke her sister's record. That's a pretty impressive list for a sophomore. So we have her for 2 more years. So who knows how many more records she's going to break. This young lady has worked hard to attain all these awards. Her determination, discipline, work ethic, and commitment to the sport are the reasons she has become our best shooter. I can't wait to see the list of accomplishments next year. It will be exciting to watch her continue to improve and reach new heights, both at the high school team and at the national level. It is a pleasure and honor to be able to coach her. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021-2022 Rifle Team Most Valuable Player is Ms. Gabriella Square.
Next up is girls soccer head coach Steve Graycock.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, administration, for the opportunity to come and present the MVP for the 2021 girls soccer. So this past year, we made it to the district finals for the second year in a row. We won 9 games. To put that into perspective, before Coach Martin and I came, the 2 previous years, we had won 7 games total for 2 years. So we won 7 and 9 games, and this is the year, next year, that we beat our nemesis, Bradford. We were very successful in large part to this year's MVP. We actually had an offensive MVP and a defensive MVP. So when Coach Martin and I were asked to pick a single MVP, it came down to leadership. This person was selected as a junior, as a captain, which is typically for seniors. She led from the front and led from the back. In the summer program, throughout the season, on the bus, and on the field for sure. She had big goals and big moments. She scored 26 goals and 8 assists. She developed her game more than I've seen her on the offensive end, but even more so playing defense and being a distributor. She became comfortable in uncomfortable situations, as we like to say, saying some things that are uncomfortable to your teammates to motivate them, and was literally a coach on the field for us. So this occurred all the time that she was man-marked most of the year. So I'd like to present the 2021 Soccer Award to Rachel Sakari.
Okay, softball is listed next in the program, but we're going to skip over that as Coach Nosker will choose his MVP at the season's end. They're right in the middle of the season. They were supposed to play tonight, so we weren't anticipating them being able to be here tonight. So we're going to go to swimming, and we're going to go to head coach Mike Ressler.
Nice season this year on the girls swim team, great team record. And that team record came in part due to the work of our MVP. Teams, whenever we get t-shirts, many times we love throwing a quote on the back. And one that often appears, and I say that practice, is that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Well, this individual has both talent and works hard. One of the hardest working individuals I've ever had the privilege to coach. Really, no doubt. She sets very high standards for herself. She works very hard to meet them. Unbelievable determination. And really, I couldn't be prouder of what she's done over her 4 years. This year, her senior year, she was able to qualify for the PIAA Championship in the 500 freestyle, setting the school record in that event. 5 minutes and 18 seconds. Now, a lot of people are throwing out numbers, and if you don't know swimming, what does that mean? I mean, she's able to swim 20 lengths of the pool
in less than 5 minutes and 20 seconds. And that is quick. That is very fast. So our MVP, as I said before, is somebody who has talent, somebody who works very hard, extremely proud of everything she's done. Miss Abby Dressler.
Next up is girls tennis and head coach Josh Reed.
All right, hello. I have to do this twice, so I'm going to keep these ones a little brief. I want to thank you boys once again for giving me the opportunity to coach tennis. This year I'm doing the boys and girls tennis. So as a proud DuBoisian alumni, it's a great honor to coach these teams that I went through myself back when they had wooden rackets, way back in the day. All right, so starting off with the girls MVP. All right, this player was one of the most dedicated players, playing in the off season, practicing, honing her skills. An insanely positive person, just gave her all in practice, very cheerful. One of the team cheerleaders, pretty much the bastion of team spirit, rallying the team before our meets. She was in fact so cheerful and friendly, she would say "love all" at the beginning of every game. She was very professional, someone that the other teammates looked up to as a role model on the team. Finished the season her senior year with an impressive record of 8-8, with impressive victories against such teams as Brockway Punxsutawney and even Altoona. She was the comeback queen, starting off some of these matches with a set deficit, only to come back in the second set and force a match tiebreak, which she then overcame her stress and maintained composure under pressure to win the match. Although our time was short, I only had her for 1 year, and she unfortunately graduated, or fortunately graduating this year. I'd like to present this year's MVP award to Grace Askey.
Next up is girls track and field and head coach Scott Sullivan.
Good evening. I'd like to start by saying how awesome it is to look at this table over here, to have both principals here and the superintendent and the athletic director. It doesn't happen all the time, so we appreciate everyone being here representing our student athletes. Tonight's girls track and field MVP award winner is no surprise to anyone that has been following us this season. Just a sophomore, she's a repeat winner of this award. She has now accomplished the title of the best female distance runner in DAHS history, as she broke Catherine Sheffo's 2012 1-mile school record and absolutely shattered the 2-mile school record held by Sarah Cole. A true student athlete, she is ranked in the top 8% of her class of 2024. This Friday at the District 9 Championships, she will attempt to win the James Manor MVP Award for the second straight year. This award is awarded to the outstanding performer of the district championship. She is seated number 1 in all 3 of her distance events. I will leave you with one word about Morgan Romer, and that word is modest. Webster defines it as unassuming or moderate in the estimation of one's abilities and achievements. Well, they should also add a picture of Morgan. To Mom and Dad, I say congratulations on raising a mature, polite, smart, and yes, fast young lady. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 Girls Track and Field MVP, Miss Morgan Romer.
Last but not least, the girls' side is girls volleyball and head coach Jason Gustafson.
All right, thank you. Hello, good evening. I just want to thank, first of all, the administration, the school board. It's a pleasure having you here tonight, and then obviously the athletic department and Chuck for all the support throughout the year. Well, throughout many, many years now. Appreciate that, and I certainly appreciate the opportunity to be here today to recognize the girls volleyball MVP for this year. So, the athlete was a 2-year starter, 3-year letter winner. She's a steady performer who's led her team in many ways. So statistically, she's a team leader or the top 2 in the following categories: kills, hitting percentage, attempts, digs, and games played overall. In 2021 and 2022, our list of accomplishments includes Team MVP as voted on by her peers, the 2021 Laurel Mountain League MVP and First Team All-Star, the District 9, District 10 First Team All-Star and the Large School MVP, the District 9 AAA All-Star, and also the MVP, and that's her second time receiving that award. And then she was selected as a member of the Pennsylvania Volleyball Coaches Association AAA All-State Team. And that's her second selection for that, and the first time that's ever happened in the school's history in our program. And she's also a 4-time District 9 AAA champion. She's a quiet leader who was always ready for the big matches. She's left her mark on our volleyball program without a doubt. And it's a pleasure today to award the girls volleyball MVP to Bella Gray.
Okay, moving over to the boys' side. Baseball is listed first. Like the softball, their season's still ongoing, so Coach Bowman's going to choose his at the end of the season. They are playing at Phillipsburg Osceola tonight as well, so it was kind of hard, as you know, this spring scheduling games around all the events we have. So baseball team is not able to be here tonight. Hopefully they'll get here maybe later on some of the other awards. So next we'll go up is going to be boys basketball. The John Cleese MVP Award, head coach Dave Bennett.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to recognize our most valuable player for boys basketball. We were very fortunate to have an absolutely incredible senior class. One of the presenters for the girls' side had mentioned that there's a lot that goes into an MVP. Obviously, you have to be a pretty darn good player, pretty darn good athlete, but it's a lot deeper than that. Our MVP has always shown leadership, and there's different ways to view leadership. This was the first year that we had freshmen also playing JV, and our JV and our varsity practiced together. And our MVP was always positive, always reinforcing, was always built confidence in the younger players just because that is his demeanor. That is the way he approaches daily life. He's a fantastic student in the community. He's also outstanding. We have our youth basketball camps that started kindergarten, our Little Dribblers program that started kindergarten, and our MVP is always there. Regardless of whether it was the JV had that day, the varsity had that day, he showed that leadership and was always there for those community events. And that went a long way. And the kids, you could see the young kids gravitate to that. So in addition to all the great things that they do in the community and within the school, he's also was our leading scorer at 13.7 points a game, our leading rebounder at 8.1 rebounds per game, our leader in steals, our leader in deflections, our leader in block shots. He was first team all Tri-County, second team District 9 and District 10, first team all league, co-defensive MVP of the District 9 league, played in numerous all-star games, and was the spearheading leader of winning the first sub-region championship in school history since the PIAA went to 6 classifications. Without further ado, our John Cleese MVP is Chooch Houston.
Go back to cross country on the boys' side, and head coach Corey Ars once again.
Hello again, everyone. Before I get started on this young man's accolades, I just want to take you back 3 years. That's when I first started coaching varsity cross country. It was actually at the advice of this young man's father, and I want to thank him first and foremost for that blessing. This young man was the first varsity cross country runner to actually have a conversation with me. That's why it's so special. I could rely on this young man for the last 3 years to help with workouts, trainings, cool downs, and just get a finger on the pulse of the boys' side. He would always say to me, "Coach, let's make it fun." And he has made my experience as a coach just the best thing that it can be when it comes to distance running. He is a 4-year letterman, a senior this year, so he will be greatly missed by the team. But in his time this past season, he not only brought the Beavers team to a 19-0, second undefeated D9 season cross country, he also brought us a first place AA boys team championship at the Big Valley Invitational. That's a first for us in DuBois. Brought us a first place team finish at the Ridgeway Invitational, and allowed us to win our second D9 overall team championship in District 9. So just wonderful accomplishments that stem all the way back to '83. This team's record is now tied for the most district wins with the 1983 team. So I look forward to the legacy that he's leaving behind. He was our first place overall male finisher in 6 out of 9 regular season meets. The other 3 wins belong to another DuBois teammate, so good job, guys. His personal best on the season was 16 minutes and 56 seconds. Now, if any of you have come to any of our home cross-country meets, you will know that we not only run out in the heat, in the open sun, but we also go up Monument Hill to Penn State land, and now this year we added the tennis court hill. So it's an incredibly grueling 3.1 miles, and this young man ripped off a 16:56, which now stands as not only his personal best, but now the male course record across the U9. So congratulations to him on that. He was the 3rd place overall finisher in the District 9 Boys AA District Championships in Ridgeway with a time of 18:10. I also want to note this young man ran the last at least mile with one shoe. He lost it somewhere in the mud. If anyone's ever been to Ridgeway in cross country, it's a mud field, and particularly on that day we had a lot of rain. So this young man managed to place 3rd with one shoe. We have the photos to prove it. With that finish, he took the team title with the rest of our 6 varsity boys to Hershey. He placed 73rd. That was the highest placement for a Du Bois boy. 73rd out of 236 runners out of a very competitive AA bracket with a time of 17 minutes and 50 seconds. I'm going to miss this young man dearly. He has been the cornerstone of this program for the past 3 years, and I think you have left a legacy behind for our younger runners, and I just hope you come back and share all of your experiences wherever they may lead you. This year's 2021 Boys MVP is Mr. Astacio Deemer.
Confirmed that at district meet, I was there and I saw him come around one turn, and I believe his dad Sean was near me, and I said, "Where the hell did HG shoe go?" He lost it somewhere around mile 1 somewhere. So good for him for finishing. So up next, we're going to move to football and football awards and head coach TJ Winger.
Good evening. I have the privilege of presenting 5 young men this evening with historical awards that honor former players here in the district. These 5 men tonight that are being honored are pure examples of the hard work, the dedication, teamwork, commitment, and just having an overall pride in wearing the Beaver uniform. They're a great example. It's a really strong senior class. These 5 are the core of it, and let's get to it, I guess. We want to first honor the Pete Maudie Back and Receiver Award of the Year on offense. This young man had 350 yards rushing, 200 yards receiving, 200 return yards. It was his blocking offensively from the running back position that easily put him over the top of the choice of this award. Real quick story, and Coach McCleary isn't here for this, but occasionally about once a week at practice, at the end of a play, the whistle would blow, and this young man would be laying on the ground as if he's hurt. And Coach McCleary would go, "Get up, Braxton." And Braxton would look up, smile out of his face mask, and go, "Okay, Coach," and run back to the hub. Just all around fun, joy, worked his butt off. The back receiver of the year is Mr. Braxton Adams. Next up is the Frank Fuller Lineman of the Year, the combination of both offense and defense. This young man was the main cog in an offense that produced over 3,000 yards of offense, 250 points. Defensively, a part of a squad that held opponents to under 14 points per game. On top of his athleticism, he did it really with 2 major injuries on and off all season. He was a grinder through the pain, and he refused to really give up. And without him, I know our offense and defense wouldn't have been the same. He's a voice of reason in the locker room. He's respected all through the school. He's really an extra coach on the field that meant a lot to this team, I know. Ask really anybody on the squad. If you want to know the truth, you want to know the answer, ask Mitch. This year's Lineman of the Year, Mr. Mitchell Gruskat. From the first week after the 2020 season had completed, this young man did everything to change his body, his feet, his strength. We always knew he had a motor. This year, he led the team with 92 total tackles. He had 3 sacks. Another coach on the field. He led this team by example between the lines. He pushed kids in practice. He'd always get a giggle and a smile out of his face mask, but for the most part, it was about business and making our team better. I'm honored to name the Sam Valentine Defensive Player of the Year to Mr. Christian Kirk. Don Gilbert MVP Award goes without saying. Along with Christian, this young man started to transform himself with Christian that first week after the 2020 season. Defensively, he finished with 90 tackles, a sack, 2 interceptions, and a very exciting one at the home game against Kane that totally changed the way that game was going to flow. On offense, with all the work he had done throughout the year, we were planning on having him work in a tight end position. He had dropped probably, I'm guessing, 50 pounds and changed his body, but we need him on the offensive line. And without hesitation, he changed his jersey number, and with some nastiness and intensity, along with Mitch, really led our team to some really awesome victories. The coaches especially appreciate Justin's unselfishness to do what he did for the team, and he's going to be sorely missed as well. This year's MVP of Beaver football, Mr. Justin Bankovic. I'm very honored to be able to present the Randy Curley Memorial Award. Most of you know that Randy was a coach on staff and a board member here in the district for years, and he suffered a tragic accident a few years ago. But we wanted to honor him through the football program, as he really is a guy that would have given his shirt off his back for you at a whim. And what he did for our school, our district, and our program was second to none. So I just want to read to you the description of the award. To the humble player who demonstrates true teamwork, dedication, sacrifice, and commitment for the team. And that's in bold letters. The team, not the individual, is the ultimate champion. Easy pick this year with this group of seniors. A lot of guys fit the mold, but no one fit it like Braden Roy.
Next up, we have boys golf. Head coach Luke Bundy was unable to be here tonight, so he provided me something to read on his behalf. This year's boys golf MVP has been a 4-year contributor, has helped lead the boys golf team to back-to-back district titles. He has been ultra consistent year in and year out. His play will be sadly missed. This year's boys golf MVP is Cody Jakonski. Next up, we have boys soccer and head coach Matt Erickson.
boys soccer this year. A player that probably worked harder than any player has ever had to on the field before. Had a really young team this season again. After every game, he's just physically exhausted because he'd always give 100%, cover every inch of the field, work for absolutely everything out on the field for the team. And intensity on our offense this year that's going to be really hard for us to replace in the coming years. I'm sure he would never admit to it or know it, but acted as a really good role model for all of our younger players this season. Was somebody that they always looked up to and was one of our few two-year captains we've had. Despite all that, multiple times I've had to carry him off the field, probably a new record for any player that I've ever had. He scored 18 goals this season, had 3 hat tricks, the most goals that we've had by a single player in at least 6 years. He had 4 assists this year, and next year we'll be heading to pick Greensburg. So we wish him the best of luck there and hopefully catch a few games. This year's MVP for boys soccer, great to see you.
Back to swimming diving with boys and head coach Mike Gressler.
The boys had a successful season as well this year, and a big part of that, just like on the girls of our MVP, came from our boys MVP. This individual has size, he has strength, he works hard, has determination to meet his goals. And for him, the real defining part of the season for me was probably the most exciting race at the District 9 meet in the 200 freestyle. There were 4 guys all in it, coming down the last few lengths of the pool, the last length of the pool. Joe Defensemark was actually behind at the 175-yard mark, so with 1 length of the pool to go, he had to somehow pull this out. And he was able to do that at the very end. And I think back to a set that we had at the end of July in our summer training where he had to do 9 200s as fast as he could. And that right there, that training, that hard work, months in advance, led to that moment. And that District 9 championship and birthed it to the KAA championship for him. Not only was he champion in 200 freestyle, also in the 100 backstroke, and was part of 200 and 400 freestyle relays that made the PIAA meet as at-large qualifiers, showing that they truly were some of the top relays in the state. So our MVP on the boys' side this year, Mr. Joe Defensemark.
Now up is boys tennis, head coach Josh Reed.
Hello again, everyone. This time for the boys' side, the boys' tennis. This year's MVP was a very strong player, very talented, very dedicated to the game. Practiced in the off-season, probably played the sport about as long as I have. Studied the sport. He brought insights to the team that were helpful for the whole team as far as strategy, as far as coaching. Actually helped me out a lot as a beginning coach, bringing insights and helping out my shortcomings and things that I've missed on the team. So it's really been a pleasure working with him, and we're going to be sad to see him leave this year. He had the athletic ability that the underclassmen really aspired to. Great technique. He's 2 years undefeated in District 9, two-time District 10 singles semifinalist, two-time District 10 doubles finalist, and the two-time boys tennis MVP, Cody Chikonsky.
Boys track and field, the Chuck Bechtel MVP Award, and head coach Brian Klinger.
I would first like to start by congratulating all the student athletes for all their accomplishments this year. I also would like to wish everyone good luck in all their future endeavors. Second, I would like to take this time to thank the superintendent, Mrs. Benton, school board, building principals, Mr. Weibel, Mr. Pasternak, athletic director, Mr. Fair, athletic secretary, Mrs. Fox, and the Bechtel Trust for all their support throughout the track and field season. Without all of you, this would not be possible. It's my privilege tonight to present the Chuck Bechtel Track and Field Award to an outstanding track and field athlete. Chuck Bechtel, a graduate in 1959, participated in track and field, basketball, and baseball. That's a three-year athlete, and that's big in today's sports. He was a standout in sports and excelled in academics at a high level. He earned a bachelor's degree of science in electrical engineering and believed that academics and athletics were an important part to build a well-rounded young adult. Chuck was described as an athlete who excelled in both track and field and academics and displayed leadership characteristics among his teammates and peers. The athlete that will be receiving this award tonight by far beats these standards. Here are some of his accomplishments. There was a huge list, and I made him narrow it down because I only have a few minutes to do this tonight. But he was an honor roll student, 4.3 GPA, 5th in his class, a member of NHS, student council, a student representative on school board, Special Olympic volunteer. He participated in cross country for 3 years, was part of a two-time District 9 team championship and completed at the state championships in Hershey. He also participated in swimming for 3 years. Competed at the state championships in the 200 and 400 freestyle relays. And finally participated in track, which was a great pleasure of mine to have. And he was on for 3 years and was a 2021 District 9 championship on the team and helped tremendously in winning that championship. He also earned the District 9 gold medal in the 4x800 meter relay. He will be competing again on Friday to defend his title, help his teammates make another run for the District 9 team title. This fine young man will be continuing his college education at Edinburgh University, where he will be majoring in secondary education. And the award goes to ACD.
Boys volleyball, and head coach Jason Gustafson.
All right, again, thank you for the opportunity. First of all, I want to congratulate all the athletes today. I get to bring up the rear here. Presentations for the MVPs, and it's exciting to listen to all the accomplishments, especially, at least for me personally, teams that I don't really get a whole lot of opportunity to interact with and
just want to congratulate everybody. For boys volleyball, I guess challenging would be the best way for me to describe the team and the sport in general for us here. As long as I can remember, coached the girls for 16 years now, been with the boys off and on for probably the better part of 20. And no matter what year it's been, it's sometimes smooth sailing, sometimes it's patchwork. And this year we had a great group of kids. A lot of challenges, we had a lot of new faces, but we had one kid in particular, several, but one in particular that stood out particularly as a leader on the team. Our MVP recipient's no different this year. He started out in 9th grade, just like a lot of the kids do, just beginning to learn the sport, kind of becoming acquainted. He's got a great attitude, and he's an extremely hard worker, but also a great teammate. He holds himself, as well as all of his teammates, accountable for effort, and just being a good teammate in general. His accomplishments this year, he was the team leader in attempts, in kills, and digs, service percentage, and also hitting percentage. He's a 4-year letter winner, having started all 4 years that he's been involved in the team. He was a team MVP voted by his peers. He's a Mountain League All-Star for this season. He's my son's best friend, so I've known him since he was little, so it's okay for me to call him a kid. That's how I see him. But please help me. It's an honor to congratulate Chris Warnick.
The last award on the boys' side is the Wrestling Jack Sullivan MVP Award. Head coach Garrett Brown is unavailable to be here tonight. He's across town coaching Penn State Du Bois baseball as we speak right now. So I'll be happy to present the award on his behalf. This year's Jack Sullivan Wrestling MVP Award goes to a junior. Came to practice every day, dedicated to become a better wrestler and student athlete. He put his trust in his coaches and believed that they were always there to do what's best for him while pushing him to succeed. Knowing that he was wrestling in one of the toughest weight classes in the state, he went out without fear, competed with some of the top wrestlers in the state, and just came up just short of the state tournament this year. He finished the season with a team best record of 30 wins, 10 losses. And he will enter his senior with a shot at 100 career wins with a career record of 67 and 32. We're all looking forward to seeing what goals he will reach his senior year. This year's Jack Sullivan Wrestling MVP Award goes to Brendan Orr. Now will be the presentation of our Leadership in Athletics Award. Each year we choose a male and female athlete for our Leadership in Athletics Award. This award is voted upon by our coaches and typically goes to a multi-sport athlete who has shown tremendous leadership in their chosen sport or sports and in the school atmosphere. Both the recipients this year are quiet leaders, but they definitely lead by example. Hardworking, determined, dedicated are just some of the terms that have been used to describe both the recipients. Female Leadership in Athletics Award winner has competed in cross country, swimming, and track and field. On the playing field, she's been a solid performer in all 3 sports, but it's in swimming where she has been most dominant, as evident by her 4 team MVPs she has won here at DHS. One of her coaches described her by saying, from day one as a freshman, she was a leader, and over 4 years later, she's still our leader on and off the track. Can't wait to see how she changes the world. Another coach added, she's one of the hardest working and most determined individual I've ever coached. She sets high expectations of herself in both sports and academics. She is going to have great success as she leaves Du Bois Area High School. Our recipient is a very well-rounded student athlete. She's a member of the National Honor Society, book club, and chess club. She was recently named a recipient of the U.S. Marine Corps NROTC scholarship and will attend George Washington University, where she will graduate as an officer and eventually pursue a career in the FBI. the DuBois Area High School Athletic Department is proud to present its Leadership in Athletics Award for 2022 to Miss Abby Dressler. Our male award winner has been a leader both on and off the playing field as well. He has competed in cross country, wrestling, and track during his time at DHS. He was a member of the two-time District 9 champion boys cross country team and has qualified states in both cross country and track. While he may not have received any MVP trophies here tonight, having watched him over the past 4 years, he is easily one of the, if not the hardest worker I've seen in the school during that time. This student suffered a knee injury in the wrestling season this year that probably would have sidelined most for the rest of the season or the school year, but he was determined to return for his final match this year against Punxsutawney. I'd often see him in the hall and ask him how he could do it. He'd just smile and say, "I'm doing good, I'll be back by Punxsutawney." And his coaches have described him as a quiet leader both on and off the field. After graduation, this year's recipient plans to serve in the U.S. Army, and I, for one, am very proud to have him protecting our freedoms. This year's DuBois Area High School Athletic Department Boys Leadership and Athletic Award goes to Mr. Ryan White. Next up is our Coach of the Year Award. Our Coach of the Year Award is called the Stephen Black Memorial Coach of the Year Award. It is voted upon by all of our varsity head coaches. Steve Black was a health teacher and head basketball coach here at DuBois Area High School. His overall record was 81-18 as he coached championship teams during the 1957-61 seasons. The recipient of the Stephen Black Award characterized his spirit and dedication while instructing our student athletes. The 2022 recipient is in his 4th year coaching here at DHS. Has made a huge impact in his brief time here. He has compiled a 69-26 record in those years, and has led his team to the playoffs in each of those years as well. This year, he led the Beavers to a 17-7 record and the first district championship since 2012. Tonight, I'm extremely proud to present the 2022 Stephen Black Memorial Coach of the Year Award for the 3rd straight year, Mr. Dave Bennett. Next up is our Athletic Appreciation Award. And this is a difficult award to give out each year because there's so many deserving people in our community, in our school, that deserve this award. And we're thinking about this year's award, and this name came up to me, and I said, yeah, this one's a no-brainer. I can't believe we haven't given it to him sooner. So this year's recipient, he's no stranger to DuBois Area High School athletics, or athletics in the entire DuBois area community. Let you know, he goes by one name. I think many of you know that. He was 1974 DHS grad. He played football, basketball, and track for the Beavers. Since graduating, he has helped as a coach at every level, from elementary to middle school to high school. All told, and I don't know the exact years, but I'm going to say 40 years at least, he's put into coaching athletics in our district. He has coached elementary basketball, middle school basketball, JV basketball, varsity basketball, as well as junior high football, JV football, and varsity football. He's also been a fixture over the years, the Little League complex, either coaching baseball or softball. He has also been at Showers Field over the years. He coached Legion Baseball way back when. To this day, he's still helping out the Little League field coaching his grandchildren's teams. While this person has been so impactful in so many ways, it's football that's been his true passion. He has served as an assistant coach, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, under 7 different head coaches, dating back from Herm Works in the mid-'80s to TJ Winter currently. Again, the majority of those have been spent as a non-paid volunteer coach. His specialty is like working with running backs and working with kickers. He has coached some of the best running backs to ever come through the school. many of whom have been on the stage receiving awards. Many of us here tonight had the pleasure of being coached by him and are now working alongside him. And we hope he'll be here for many years to come. In fact, I can recall as a young athlete here 30 years ago, him driving our junior high football bus, getting off, and help coaching. It's my honor to present the 2022 Athletic Appreciation Award to one of my former coaches, who I now call a friend and colleague, Mr. Bill Clicker Clark. Dug that one photo out of the yearbook, obviously.
Is that a leather helmet?
She had hair back then. Okay, now we're up for our special presentations, some scholarships and other awards. And we're going to start with some scholarships. First up, we have the Josh Martino Track Scholarship. Presenting will be Karen Perry and Pam Myrtle.
Congratulations to all the young people receiving awards and scholarships tonight. For those that don't know me, I'm Karen Perry, and Lance Corporal Joshua Martino is my son. He went to the Marines right out of high school, and we are very honored to be able to be giving 3 scholarships this year in his honor. I would like to thank Chuck, Kim, and the administration for giving us the opportunity to present these scholarships in person. With everything going on, you just never know anymore what you're going to do. The scholarship started out as a track scholarship, and after a couple years, we opened it up to all senior athletes, male and female, and we've extended it now to 3 scholarships. I would like to thank congratulate the class of 2022 and to all of tonight's award winners. 4 months after his 2012 graduation, Josh achieved his dream of becoming a United States Marine. With support from the Du Bois and surrounding areas and our annual Memorial Golf Tournament, the Josh Martino Athletic Scholarship was established not only to honor Josh's life and memory, but to assist student athletes as they begin their journey to achieve their dreams. To qualify for this scholarship, student athletes must participate in an interscholastic athletic, be accepted at either a university, business, or trade school, complete an application which includes a short essay and recommendation, and then once submitted, we take the applications, which are anonymous to us, and the family then reads and votes on the award winners for this year. The 3 student athletes receiving the scholarship tonight have not only excelled in the classroom, but they have also participated in interscholastic athletics, have volunteered in their communities, have found time to hold jobs. We were told of many unselfish acts that Josh had accomplished, and among them included driving a friend's mother to Altoona for a doctor's appointment while he was in high school. And one of the last unselfish acts that we know of was when he and another Marine helped to dig what's called a tee box in the snow at Bridgeport for a Marine who had to be taken off the mountain for medical attention. Therefore, we asked the applicants to write a short essay describing an unselfish act that they had completed. You know, when we read these applications, it amazes me and the family of just how many of our student athletes here at Du Bois Area High School, the unselfishness, the giving, the time they spend volunteering, helping other student athletes, younger kids, neighbors, it just goes on and on. We definitely are doing something right here at Du Bois Area High School. Tonight, then, it gives us great pleasure to present these 3 $1,500 scholarships to the following student athletes. The first to Maddie Fennell, who will be attending Penn State University at Du Bois. The second scholarship goes to Eden Galashinsky. Oh, I forgot to say, Maddie will be attending Penn State here in Du Bois. Eden will be attending Bucknell University. And our final scholarship for this year will go to Katara Patton, who will be attending Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
The next 2 scholarships we present, the Du Bois Area Touchdown Club Scholarship and the Wendy Meehan Memorial Scholarship, were presented by football coach TJ Wingard, Joey Lynn Hansley, and Gretchen Clark.
The Du Bois Football Booster Club scholarships are picked through a committee based upon applications from senior players of that calendar year. The award and the scholarship base themselves on leadership, citizenship, and academics. You've seen both of these 2 men before this evening. Bring back up Justin Bankovich and Christian Kirk. I'd also like to present the Wendy Meehan Memorial Scholarship. I had the privilege of working with Wendy when I was the head junior high coach for years. I also had the privilege of coaching her 2 boys who turned out to be fine young men. She loved those boys. She loved the game of football. She loved watching her sons play the game of football. She was an integral member of our booster club, our organization, and really the team mom for a good handful of years. To honor her dedication to the program, the the Wendy Meehan Memorial Scholarship goes to Mr. Christian Kirk.
Our next two scholarships, the Boys Basketball Booster Scholarship and the Joel Volansky Memorial Basketball Scholarship, will be presented by our boys basketball head coach, Mr. Dave Bennett.
For the Boys Basketball Boosters scholarships, there is an application process, an essay, and in the application and essay, you're reflecting on how being a part of the basketball program has affected you in some way. Both of the recipients of this are very deserving student athletes. The first of which is what I feel is the lifeblood of athletics now, and that is a multiple sport athlete. As coaches, there's fewer and fewer multiple sport athletes, but they're so important. They're so important to the lifeblood of our athletic department, within our team, different perspectives, leadership. And the first recipient is an outstanding student, unbelievable teammate. He is one of the most unselfish players that we've been fortunate to have in our program this year. And when I think of unselfishness, a lot of times, those unselfish plays, unheralded plays, unless you're knowledgeable and know what you're looking for, is a charge, for example. You're sacrificing your body. You're sacrificing for the good of the team to make a huge play that swings the momentum in many times. And there's two very vivid ones off the top of my head. Home game against Brookville on the same day as the Pink game. We're up 1, they drive, shoot a shot at the buzzer. This individual steps up, takes the charge, seals the victory. Fast forward, sub-region championship game at Brashear. Very tight game, ultimately ended up being a 1-point game. And in the closing moments, same situation where they had a drive and he stepped up to take his second charge of the game that once again went a long way in sealing the victory for us. So in addition to being a valued member of our athletic department, a valued member of our program, our basketball program, he will be attending Pitt Bradford University to play baseball and majoring in business management, Al Pasternak. The next recipient, we've already talked about quite a bit tonight, and I could say all the same things again and more, but to be time conscious, Chooch Houston. The next scholarship I have the pleasure to present is the Joel Volansky Memorial Scholarship. And Joel Volansky is a member of our Hall of Fame. He is the school's all-time leading scorer with 1,152 points. And we're very appreciative to present this in memory of Joel. And this scholarship also goes to Chooch Houston.
next scholarship will be the Don Schobert Memorial Scholarship, and presented by our Wrestling Booster Club President, Ms. Lauren Ogdenbach.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm honored to be here tonight on behalf of the Du Bois Area Wrestling Booster Club to award the Don Schobert Memorial Scholarship. Don Schobert was a legendary wrestling coach for Du Bois and was named as a member of the Pennsylvania Wrestling Hall of Fame because of his impressive coaching record, his organizing of junior Olympic wrestling programs in the Du Bois area, and his contributions to instituting headgear for wrestler safety across the state. After he and his wife passed away, a scholarship was created to honor the late great coach and his dedication to Du Bois area wrestling and his overall love for the sport. This year's winners are two individuals whom I've had the great honor to watch grow from young little 5-year-old wrestlers as they grew and learned through our JO wrestling program. And I also had the honor to watch them grow into hugely successful wrestlers throughout high school. Both have been significant members of the DAHS wrestling team because of their athletic contributions, leadership, and encouragement of new wrestlers who enter the program. Both of these wrestlers embody Coach Schobert's love for wrestling and dedication to the sport. Our first recipient this evening is Austin Mitchell. Austin ended his high school career with 61 wins and 36 losses throughout his sophomore and through senior year. He competed in regionals after placing 4th and 2nd in the district in 2020 and 2022. He placed in various team and individual tournaments across the state and has made a respectable name for himself amongst the wrestling circuit. Austin is the type of wrestler who keeps you on your toes all the time. Stand here, Austin. If you know wrestling, you know Austin. And you know his mom, and you know his papa, okay? You never knew what you were going to get when he walked out on the mat. But you always got 100% heart, no matter what. We will miss Austin next year. We will miss his family next year. And we will miss you incredibly. I get a little bit worked up because he was this little when we all started together. We're really proud of you, Austin, and we wish you the best of luck as you pursue your degree at Penn State. And he has chosen to continue to play baseball for Penn State Du Bois with Coach Brown. So congratulations, Austin. Okay, our next recipient. This young lady has been wrestling with the boys for many, many years, conditioning herself against many of her male counterparts in preparation for the many girl tournaments. Andrea was wrestling in girls wrestling before wrestling was cool, before girls wrestling was cool, and it was a new thing. Throughout her wrestling career, Andrea has earned the title of 2-time state champion, and she is also a 4-time state medalist. She also wrestles on the national girls team. Make no mistake about it, Andrea is a force to be reckoned with, especially when she runs her bar on an opponent. Ask the kid from Phillipsburg whom she pinned in front of an entire crowd who quit wrestling after she pinned him. We will undoubtedly miss Andrea Wilmot as she pursues her post-secondary education and continues to wrestle. Congratulations, Andrea.
Next up is the Pete Morelli Charitable Scholarship Fund. Gives me great honor to present this award as Pete was one of my wrestling coaches for the years, and I know several others in the audience here who who he as a coach has great enthusiasm for sport, and life itself was unmatched. Each year we select a wrestler who would mirror Pete's love and enthusiasm for the sport of wrestling. This year's recipient has proven that it's never too late to start a sport and be successful. That success has come with unmatched work ethic, and mental toughness that all athletes need to have to be successful. Pete would have been this wrestler's biggest fan and supporter of this year's winner, which is Mr. Brian White. Next up, we have the U.S. Marines Distinguished Athlete Award, and I'll be presenting on behalf of Sergeant Bailey, I don't believe is here tonight. The U.S. Marine Corps Distinguished Athlete Award is presented annually to a male and female student athlete who has excelled both on and off the playing field. This award, unlike others of its type, doesn't necessarily recognize the natural, talented high school athlete who is in line for MVP honors or scholarship. The Marine Corps designed a Distinguished Athlete Award to be given to a young man or woman who has epitomized the adage, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. The recipients must exhibit the personal traits of courage, poise, self-confidence, and leadership while performing as a varsity athlete. We believe this year's recipients exhibit all those qualities. We are proud to present this year's U.S. Marine Corps Distinguished Athlete Awards to Estacio Deemer and Abby Dressler. Next up is the Randy Curley Memorial Scholarship, presented by his son, Mr. Drew Curley.
We have been giving this scholarship out. This will be the third year. My dad has been gone for about 4. So we're getting to that point where I'm not sure if everyone knows him or not, but then I think I'm being silly and I guess everyone still kind of knows him. We made this scholarship just to kind of keep on the legacy of everything that he, all the values that he held, helping the community, making sure that everything kind of continued on and he could just help as many people as possible. So every year we do a couple of events, raise some money, give out some scholarships, and just make sure that his name is carried on. This year we'll be giving out 2 scholarships. To be qualified for the scholarships, you have to fill out of course, an application. You have to be involved in the community, whether that's through sports, volunteering, different organizations, just being involved in general. So yeah, and with that being said, this year's winners will be Abigail Geist Sloan and Haiti Sweet.
Next up is the Rifle Booster Club Scholarship. Presenting that will be head head coach Joanne Pence.
I'm very pleased to be able to present the 4th annual Rifle Booster Scholarship. Rifle boosters have made it a priority to support our young men and women on our rifle team with a scholarship. The boosters support one deserving senior each year as they continue their post-high school education. Part of our application process is the seniors are required to provide academic service and extracurricular information. This information, in conjunction with an essay, allows the committee to select the recipient. The essay asks the student to explain what life lessons they have learned and will continue to use in their future based on their experience with the rifle team. This year's recipient stated that the sport of rifle has taught him that dedication and patience will lead to success. He also stated that the success he has achieved on the team was not something that was just handed to him. He had to work hard for all of his achievements. This recipient exemplifies perseverance and maturity on the range. He challenged himself to be the best he could be. He is a 4-year letterman. It has been my pleasure to get to know him and play a small role in his life as his coach. He will be greatly missed. I'm proud to present this year's $500 DuBois Area High School Rifle Booster Scholarship to Mr. Jeremy Wolfgang. I know Jeremy will continue to persevere through college as he has done in high school and on the range. He has the determination and patience to reach his goal. Jeremy plans to attend Edinburgh University to major in biology. Congratulations, Jeremy.
Next up is the Laverne Gilbert Memorial Scholarship. We're presenting that to be 2 of her children here tonight, Becky Pasternak and Andy Gilbert.
Good evening. Congratulations to all of the athletes here tonight. Your dedication and commitment to your academics and sports is quite an accomplishment. Also, congratulations to the parents, grandparents, and family members that have supported these students throughout their athletic and school careers. This scholarship was offered to any senior that participated in the DuBois Little League in baseball or softball. With the support of the DuBois Little League, we are honored to offer scholarships to 4 student athletes of the DuBois Area High School. Each recipient will receive a scholarship in memory of our mother, Laverne Gilbert. Our mother was actively involved in supporting our local youth sports programs and giving back to the community. She truly enjoyed watching young athletes succeed and accomplish their goals. She would be proud and honored to know that her legacy continues to have an impact on local athletes. The Gilbert family would like to wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors. We would also like to encourage all student athletes to continue to be an inspiration to others on and off the field. At this time, we would like to honor and award the following scholarship recipients: Eden Galshinsky, Sarah Henniger, Alex Pasternak, and Allison Snyder.
Next up, we're presenting the Olympic Athletic Club Scholarship. It's presented annually to seniors who plan to further their education and involved in athletics during their high school career. This year, we have 3 recipients of the Olympic Athletic Club Scholarship. They are Emily Larson, Olivia Pierce, and John Miller. Next up is the Alyssa McCright Soccer Scholarship, and up presented by Joanne Bish.
Good evening, and congratulations to all of those recognized tonight. It is my honor to present the Alyssa McCright Memorial Scholarship. Alyssa tragically passed away in 2017 at the age of 32. Her parents, Lloyd and Nancy McCright, created this scholarship as a way to honor their daughter's legacy and her memory. For 4 years, Alyssa played soccer for Du Bois. During this time, she was known for athleticism and her sportsmanship, or perhaps I should say sportswomanship. She led by her actions, always treating both her competitors and teammates with the utmost respect and kindness, regardless of the year or experience level. Being part of the soccer team gave Alyssa great joy and provided her family with wonderful memories they are still cherishing today. I will forever be proud to call her my teammate and friend. Tonight, I'm honored to present the Alyssa McCright Soccer Scholarship to 2 individuals who demonstrate the same sportsmanship and leadership and sportswomanship. Stephanie Hoyt and Riley Maximum.
Next up is a new scholarship fund for us this year is the Kent Brinker Endowed Scholarship for Track and Field and Cross Country Student Athletes, presented by Mr. Steve Richards.
Thank you very much. What a night. Really neat. For those of you that don't know who I am, my father was an art teacher in this Du Bois School District for years and years. He also coached track. He was Ken Brinker's coach, which is what brings me here tonight to present this award. He was hoping my father could be here, but he's not well these days. I wanted to give you a little background on Ken Brinker, just so you know who he is. He was a 1965 Du Bois High School grad. He 3-time lettered in track. He excelled in the 120-yard high hurdles, the 440-yard dash, the long jump, and he established some records in those events. And the high hurdles record stood for 37 years, and I think the long jump record still stands. Track coach should probably let me know on that. Yeah. Then from there he went on to Penn State. He graduated from Penn State in 1969. He earned numerous honors at Penn State. He was honored as their 2-time recipient of Penn State's Nate Hartmell Outstanding Track and Field Athlete of the Year Award. Then he went on to compete at the Masters level, where he got a world record in 1989 at 42 years of age in the 4x400 relay. And his time From there, he went on and had a career with Pfizer, and he was inducted. He was a 2021 inductee into the Du Bois Hall of Fame. So, in speaking with Ken about giving this award, he gave me 3 reasons for this scholarship. Number 1, through his education and hard work, he's reached a point in his life where he can, give back to those who have helped him along the way. 2, he wanted to honor my father and what he meant to Ken through his coaching and just everything he's done through him throughout the years. Ken getting into the Hall of Fame was my dad's baby the last few years, and he was solely focused on getting Ken into the Hall of Fame. And then, third of all, he wanted to focus on the importance of education. And not only having track athletes, but having track athletes that are going to school, that are furthering their education, that someday might be in the same position as Ken to give back. So, without further acknowledgement, hey, track kids, I'll give you 5,000 reasons to join the track squad next year. I got 2 $5,000 scholarship winners. Number 1 is to Abigail Geis-Salone. And number 2, I heard it called AC earlier, but it's Estacio Deamer.
Next up we have is another new scholarship, the Nathan Vanderpool Memorial Scholarship. This was a little special. Nathan was a classmate of mine. He was a swimmer here at Du Bois Area High School. Played soccer. I know he was youth soccer player throughout the years, and a friend. Nathan passed away, unfortunately, last year, and his wife wanted to honor him as well. And she is here tonight presenting the scholarship. It's Donna Vanderpool, and another classmate of ours, Kristen Hawthorne.
Swimmers. You had green hair before it was cool. Like underwear models on a commercial set, you are weirdly comfortable being half naked when everyone else is fully clothed. You fail to grasp the point of floating on a raft in a pool because, well, getting in a pool means only one thing: swimming thousands of yards at a time. Marco, who? You are swimmers. This is how Nate Vanderpool would have described you. He was one of you. This scholarship is given in memory of my husband, Nathan Vanderpool, whom we lost suddenly last year. Although he did not have children, Nate enjoyed cheering you on at home swim meets, where he noted, the names and faces are very similar to those from the 80s, with just a few extra lines and gray hairs here and there.
Many of them are here tonight. Nate swam from elementary school through graduation, and his name can be found on some of the plaques that hang outside the hallway by the pool. He was known for more than that, though. His wit, and I'll add wisdom, and unique perspective will be missed by the class of '88. In his memory, we purchased a clock, which is displayed in the trophy case at the entrance to the gymnasium. Our class was so moved at the loss of Nate that enough money remained for the scholarship opportunity we have today.
The class of '88 proudly presents Eden Delshinsky with the Nathan Vanderpool Memorial Scholarship. Best of luck to you, Eden.
Next up is the Du Bois Soccer Association Scholarship, and presenting that is Sean Catalano.
Good evening. For you that don't know me, my name is Sean Catalano. I'm the president of the Du Bois Soccer Association. I'm excited to be here tonight to present these scholarships on behalf of the Du Bois Soccer Association for the first time, and hopefully for many years to come. In addition to the funds collected through DSA, we had multiple sponsors who contributed to the scholarship program. I'd like to thank them at this moment. Huge thanks to Stoltz Family Dealership, Warriors 322 Motors, My Care Now Soccer Dogs, The Sweet Occasion, Compassionate Care Nursing, and Bacchus Barbershop. We greatly appreciate your support to help make these scholarships possible. I'm very honored to present both scholarships to two students who are not only passionate about soccer, but were able to express the lifelong impression soccer has made on their lives, for both today and their futures. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to present our first Du Bois Soccer Association scholarship to Thaddeus Slyman. And again, I'm equally honored to present our second Du Bois Soccer Association scholarship to Cara Tilson. Is it Cara or Kara?
Final scholarship of the evening will be the Girls Basketball Booster Scholarship, and it will not be presented by me. It will be presented by Coach Rod Thompson.
All right, thank you. Gives me an opportunity to, being the last one, to thank the guy that bleeds red and black, Chuck Farah. So thank you so much, Chuck, for everything. This is an awesome evening. So fantastic. So I just want to thank you. Well, I'm thanking. This is sort of the senior time, right, with the scholarships and moving on, and all that. I just want to make sure I do a shout out to the seniors that welcomed me to be their girls basketball coach. So Izzy and Abby and Sarah, thank you guys so much for everything, and the other girls basketball players are here as well. So we have two scholarships awards that the boosters are again giving out here this evening. And I guess that before I do that, I also wanted to say how thankless a job that is to all the booster clubs, and how much is done with you guys. It's just absolutely amazing. So again, that's another shout out that I want to give to them as well. So thanks to all the booster clubs for everything you do for these athletes. So it's fantastic. The two athletes that I'm going to call up here are Allie Snyder and Brooke Tuning. Come on up. Penn State. She's going to be animal science and marine biology major. And if you haven't seen her out pitching yet for the girls softball team, you should do that soon. They've been doing an awesome job. Brooke Juning is going to be attending Slippery Rock, be a physician assistant, and she's majoring in exercise science. And a final thank you to both of you for being team leaders this year. You have definitely deserved this scholarship, and I just want to thank you guys.
Okay, we're almost done. Just some closing comments here. I'd like to extend some special thank yous before we leave. We all put this program together. Mandy Bell, Linda Brankus, Dave Martin. Special thanks to Mr. Weibel, Mr. Pasternak, and Mrs. Benton for being here, their leadership and guidance, as well as the friendship and support over the years. And a special thank you to our athletic secretary, Kim Fox, for help and all the preparations for tonight's program. She puts all this together. I just come up and speak. So she does an amazing job and helps keep our office in line and running smoothly. And also the athletic department is Assistant Athletic Director Andy Ettinger, who does a good job handling things at the middle school level for me. In addition, I'd like to thank all you athletes, your parents, our coaches, volunteers. You guys do an outstanding job. You make my job run smoothly, most of you, coaches. Great group of coaches. I joke that I tell them to keep things brief because I know they're all so passionate about their teams and their individual athletes. They want to get them to talk forever about them. So I try to tell them to keep it as brief as possible so we're not here all night long. But they just do a great job and make my job so much easier and exciting. So again, thanks to the administration and board members for continued support of our interscholastic athletics. And thank you for another wonderful year, and thanks for attending tonight's Athletic Awards program.